What's happening, fandoms? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, we react to music videos and shows. Today we're back to the world of The Expanse. We're in season 5. This is episode 2, entitled Churn. And I've been well informed that a big part of Amos's backstory is told in a short story or a novella. Not sure which, I don't remember, but a small published work called The Churn. And I have not read The Churn. I have read, and I'm in the process of rereading Book 5, which is the primary source for the storylines for season 5. But I imagine that some of the churn is coming into play in season 5 as well. It has to. I'm about halfway through book 5 on my reread, and I have gotten through the portions of the beginning and I want to say beginning and mid-beginning of Amos's journey on Earth, and it's fairly uneventful. Not a whole lot of action there. Much of the action is likely to occur later, but I don't know what happens with the churn, and so we could be thrown for a loop as far as what Amos is going to go through on Earth. And I'm kind of expecting to be, and frankly kind of hoping to be. I'm also expecting that Bobby and Alex's story on Mars is going to be somewhat different from what happens in the original books, because her storyline has shifted away from the book storyline and into something completely different. And so I'm expecting to analyze quite a few differences between storylines in this season, and I'm really excited about it, because while I intend to read much or all of the supporting material, the short stories, the novellas, the other pieces of fiction that add to this universe, I haven't done that yet, and I've specifically held off because of basically the joy of first discovery. And if there was one minor regret that I have around this show, I guess it would be that I read the books first. And not because the books are bad, the books are amazing. And I've held this analysis in my head, and I've said a few things like this, but the books are great, the shows improve it. And I kind of wish that I had been able to experience the show as a fresh user, a fresh set of eyes, without knowing the storyline, because it's so good. The books hold up, and I could have read them afterwards, and it would have been just as amazing. I think I would have seen some differences, but I really appreciate what they're doing with this story and how they've managed to massage it and take it in directions that improve the overall feel. So, all right, let's go ahead and dive in to episode 2. Here we go. If you'd like to see full-length versions of this episode and all of our other shows, they're available on our Patreon. The link is below.
The first episode of every season is available for free to watch on our Patreon.
Thank you. Oh, damn.
Incoming tight beam.
Drummer looks like is
Tight beam, look. Pirata belt.
What this shit? This ours.
Signal the Motang.
the Motang. Aha, we got more. Okay. Interesting.
night. You people took everything from us.
Not everything.
All of our...
Yeah.
Serge,
Take their
time to
lives.
leave.
Hi, Captain. On the way.
Interesting. So she's kind of protecting the inner ships.
Every time.
Kinda.
Still working, Kay?
Still work to do. What is that? It's the Tynan. Clace Ashford's ship.
Oh, they're gonna find that Ashford is gone.
I never thought I'd actually find it.
In my reading of book 5, I literally was just introduced for the first time to Drummer. It's a very casual, almost secondhand thing. Almost like she's not important, but she definitely is. And in the show, she's far, far more important than she was in the early books of the series. Looking good. Wes. Wow, there's a lot of people. That's the most people we've seen on screen in this show for a very long time.
But there was so much she kept to herself.
Yep, this is almost
What am I
identical.
going to do? How the fuck am I gonna go on without her?
What was his name?
Eric.
That's
That's
Amos's
all I know.
next stop.
Stop backing.
Yep. Amos is gonna go pay Eric a little visit. Interesting.
Kill late ahead of schedule. The work
like
crews
that.
are doing well.
I liked that
They're going
scene.
fast anyway.
Something wrong with
Very similar to the books.
Apart from building gunships for belters.
You think that if someone's an underdog, that means they're the good guy.
Yeah, it's interesting that they're incorporating Bull into this season instead of season 3. There wasn't really
Got a
room for
good
him.
ship. You can tell when they chime like this.
What?
The tone. The ship has a good tone.
Put
He
the
likes his
Rossies
ship.
home. I'll get some earplugs.
There's a rato, your skull to swallow. Earplugs won't help.
No new messages. No new messages. No new messages. They're on their own, doing their thing.
Holden, I know that you're avoiding me, and I just want to let you know that I understand, really. I do. But also, I haven't been completely honest with you.
God damn it.
Oh boy. Now, is he actually going to find her, or is she... Yeah, she's already gone. Dang it.
I wasn't listening. I'm a shitty friend.
Amos says worse than that 5 times a week, and I know he'll take a bullet for me.
I'm pretty sure I already have.
Yeah, I think she has.
Why are you shutting me out?
Of what?
I don't know. That's the problem. I see you, and you're living like...
You have a problem with my place?
You're working undercover for Earth to infiltrate Mars?
Avasarala is the only one I know for sure who isn't in on it.
No way. There's no way someone walks off with one of these. That ain't possible.
Turns out it is. There have been a series of major force reductions, which means a whole lot of gear no one is using and a bunch of people who are about to lose their paychecks. Easy math. He's a senior lecturer at the War College. We don't travel in the same circles.
He'll talk to me.
Oh, yeah. I love this side of Alex. The analytical, he's just finding his way, analyzing all the activities in this square, figuring out who works for who.
But I need a friend who will take a message to Eric from me. Do you want to be my friend? Yeah. Go now.
Show him a weapon.
I thought you and I were friends.
I have a team going over the room and another on surveillance.
She
So
said
that's
someone
an
was going after the
interesting
murder molecule. She had
swap.
proof, and then minutes later she's grabbed. That can't be a coincidence.
My people will find her.
Your people are a part of this.
We don't know that yet.
Drummer was
I
stationed
shut down the
security
port before anyone
in the
could
books.
leave, so
So dead or alive, she's still on this station. Somewhere.
Drummer replaced Bull in season 3, and now Bull is replacing Drummer in season 5. Okay.
Political and economic worlds changed when the Europeans colonized the New World and when Mars declared its independence.
And when the rings were
And now,
discovered.
again, with the opening of the ring gates. Every new invention or discovery alters the strategic and tactical landscape to a vision of humanity that can encompass 1,000 stars. Thank you all.
I think he gave away his beliefs right there.
Oh, yeah.
It's been a real long trip.
Good luck.
Admiral Silverchair. Hey there. Not sure if you remember me.
Senior Chief Alexander Kamal.
Duty calls.
Maybe it's her. But I think the Admiral.
Find out why he's here.
Already on it?
Yeah, okay, they're both in on it. Okay. That's that same kid he saw earlier. Or is it? Of course he knows he's walking in to an ambush. Yeah, he's not seeing anybody. That's himself. He's remembering, I think. He's not seeing an actual person.
Father misses you. I know he won't say it, but he does. He's back at Columbia now, getting ready for the semester.
So she's definitely
if you went to
on
him,
Luna
you could
now.
patch things up.
What I'm doing here is still important. Arjun understands that.
Interesting. She has become a little bit more gentle, or at least maybe that's just how she
87
treats her
colony ships
daughter.
have reportedly made the transit to the new systems this quarter. That's below our estimate, but it's within the target range. However,
If you'd prefer not to be involved in these discussions, you're more than welcome to submit your thoughts in writing.
Understood.
Good.
Well,
Now, let's get back to work.
you just made a mistake, Nancy.
Once we have the situation in hand, we'll resume normal traffic.
Can I tell them what the security issue is?
No! It's just gonna get ugly.
it's already ugly.
Okay, oxygen levels high. What is this thing that she just picked up, though? Yeah, don't open this, though. That would be a mistake. Even if you can open it, don't open it. Uh-oh. Now she's caused a leak. Great. Yeah, she's about to run out of air.
Come on!
Good thing somebody's looking for you, girl.
You know I work in space, right?
I know how this works, dude. I like the actor that they got for Bull. He is just so prickly. Very good.
That's why it had atmosphere. This isn't the right container.
Oh no! shit. This is gonna be a fantastic conversation. Wonder who they got for Eric. Yep, going just how I remember.
Trying to figure how you're gonna get back out?
But now Amos Burton wants to talk.
It's a common name.
Not around here, it's not. Around here, there's only one Amos Burton. What the fuck are you doing, Timmy?
This guy knows his name.
Lydia died.
That's not an answer. We had a deal.
I'm gonna need to change that deal.
Fuck you.
And once he's died of natural causes, you can do whatever you want. But Lydia would not want him sleeping in an alley, so I don't either.
Straight to the point.
That's all this is. Oh, well, shit! You should have just said so.
You did just say so.
You scared the fuck out of me coming to my place like this.
That was not my intention.
Yeah, the old guy can stay. I don't give a shit. Hang on, we'll drink on it.
I'm not here to take anything that belongs to you.
Yep. No bullets in that gun anyway.
What the hell happened to you out there?
One thing and another.
Here, too. I mean, look at all this. Next time you go up the well, don't come back. I love you, and I miss you, I do. But show your face in my city again, and I'm putting you down.
It's good seeing you again, Eric.
Damn. They're gonna get her. I'm not worried. I mean, this makes me worry, but I'm not worried. They might have to resuscitate her when they do, but... Cool perspective, man. Poor Monica. I think she's gonna be okay, though.
Hold on! There's a medical team on the way!
Well, they built that tension well. I felt it. Woo!
For what it's worth, I thought you held your temper pretty well.
Why would you take the risk?
They're getting on to something
Maybe not
here.
piracy, then. Maybe something to do with the mission the Asami was on.
That would be the place to start.
I know what you're doing.
Is it working?
Yeah.
When you're hurt, hurting others is easy. It takes strength to choose not to.
This is Amos.
When life has not treated you with kindness, doing the right thing anyway always takes strength. Can you imagine a version of me that is good and kind and wise?
Wow.
I'll pretend to be her. You can pretend to love me enough to listen.
Oh boy.
Maybe that's enough for people like us.
Okay. Amos, you've gone through it, buddy.
Hey, what you doing on my taco, man?
No.
You mean no?
There's someone that I should see first, and I'm gonna need your help arranging it.
Ooh, okay. Peaches. Cool shot, man. So symbolic. Dang. Oh boy. Okay. Feel like the A plot of this episode was pretty much Amos, and to get tiny little flashback of Timmy and Lydia together was yeah, that was sweet. Gets me in the feels. And I think I've learned something about little Timmy and Amos Burton that I may not have fully understood previously, because I don't think that this was explained in any way in the books that I can remember. So this must be details from the Churn, the book where we get Amos's backstory. Seems to me like there was a different man named Amos Burton who ran gang, Eric's gang, I think, in Baltimore, and little Timmy took him out and assumed his identity for whatever reason and left. And that was all part of his deal on how to get out. And when Amos says that to get out of Baltimore he died, what he's talking about is that his identity, Timothy, his old self died and he had to become somebody new. Interesting. And I'm assuming that part of that deal that he made with Eric was to take care of Lydia, because this is who he went to negotiate that deal. And that little detail obviously is from the book, so that I know. And much of this, except for the one little detail about killing Amos and assuming his identity, that's all straight from the books, and was very very touchingly reproduced here in a way that really made you feel for Charles, made you feel for Lydia, and yeah, like it showed a sort of a different side of Amos than we are often able to see. Him caring and wanting to protect this person from his old life, and even posthumously wanting to know the details and know that this guy Charles had cared for her and done the right thing. And as soon as he verified that, as soon as he realized that Charles was a positive influence, his feelings for Lydia transferred directly onto Charles, and immediately Charles became one of the ones you protect. So that's very much in line with Amos's character, and I like it a lot. The story of him visiting Eric might possibly have even been a tiny bit shorter than the sequence in the books. I think they reduced some of the small talk. Maybe there was a discussion about how Eric would have literally protected himself from Amos, because that gun was, like he said, a test. There was no way Eric is gonna walk away and turn his back on someone who is such a threat and leave a gun right there in his grasp. In the books, there was a discussion about how there would have been, pop-up turrets from the ceiling that would have just shredded him to bits. Yeah, but that, I think, was better off left unsaid. And if I feel like in this version of the story, they parted more amicably. Eric softened a little bit here in a way that I don't believe in the books there was any indication of. I could have just missed it. Maybe it was very subtle, but the way that the actor portrayed it and the way that the dialogue went, there was a little bit of a shift. He was on his guard. He was, boss and in charge. And then he came down off of that a little bit and was speaking more casually. Yeah, I don't know. Ooh, that was a really emotional set of scenes. Very powerful. And that combined with the added tension that they put into Monica's rescue by having them find the wrong container first, because that did not happen in the books. They found a container with a heat signature and went to it, and there she was. And in this version, man, them popping that container and it not being where she was, they really know how to string out that tension. And having her in a container with the seal busted, also not the way it went in the books, put a real clock on her discovery and made this very much more tense. And of course it was a little bit tempered by the fact that I knew that they would get to her and I knew that she would still be alive. She has roles to continue to play going forward, but still it felt very powerful, and much more so than in the books. In the books, when they discovered her, she was sort of soft medicated to be out of it, kind of induced coma almost. And so they had to recover her from whatever control drugs that they were pumping into her system, but nothing like, that she died by running out of air and they had to resuscitate her, etc. So very powerful stuff. Bobby and Alex coming together to have Bobby kind of read him in to her mission and reveal that she's working for Avasarala is a big step. And in the books there was some sort of a situation that Alex helped Bobby get out of. It was not exactly this way. It feels different, and I like how initially his attitude seemed to be that of a shock. I can't believe you're a traitor to Mars, to, oh my God, I can't believe Mars is a traitor to the inner planets, right? Like it was a growth moment for Alex, for his nationalistic patriotic pride to be shattered by the fact that this is all going down and being run by someone I guess he looks up to, because I think that was where we went with that. He went to find that lecturing general. I don't think it was a general, something, that guy, I don't remember his name, and being put off by him, and then the aide coming to step in. That was because he doesn't believe that he could be a part of this based on his reputation and what Alex knows of that man. personally. So, and obviously it's going to come as a greater shock to him as he discovers more and more just how involved people are in the Martian military. And obviously, based on the way we were given those scenes, the aide is in on it with the guy, and she's gonna try and tie up Alex and figure out how to neutralize him for whatever reason. They don't know why he's nosing around, but it's not good, right? That's all they care about, is that he could figure out what's going on, right? So she'll do whatever she's gonna do to kind of take him out of the picture, and we'll see what impact that has. And then, of course, we have Christian trying to continue to do her job that she used to have as undersecretary to the Secretary General as a security measure, but she's been demoted, and now she's just a minor chair for some other program by Nancy Gao. And because Christian still cares about security, she's still continuing to try and do that job, because clearly the person who's in that role isn't doing that job, because they're not discovering these plots that are going on. And with her on Luna and her family on Earth, she is physically and emotionally separated from them for now. That is obviously symbolic of the split that she and Arjun are currently facing, with his opinion of her and how, I guess, he doesn't like her political ambitions. Not 100% sure what that's all about, but it is certainly important for her to be on Luna with the upcoming events that we will see play out in this season. Now, at the very end, we saw Amos reaching out to her for help with getting in touch with someone, and that someone will clearly, it's not foreshadowed in any way here, but it will clearly be Clarissa Mao, who is down deep in some black ops prison somewhere on Earth. So he's going to try and visit her. Because they had built some kind of a working relationship when Clarissa was shipping back to Earth for whatever months it took for them to get back from the ring all the way back to Earth. And on the Rossi there, they developed their relationship. It wasn't shown on screen, but it was hinted at with their conversation they had towards the beginning of season 4. So we'll definitely see Clarissa again, I think, soon. Okay, well, I feel like this episode, what it lacked in action, there were no fights. Well, I guess there was one fight. There was the singular space fight of Drummer policing the pirates by claiming they owe her. And when the pirates wouldn't bow down to her and not kill the Earthers, promise not to kill the Earthers, she basically laid down the law, and she has multiple ships, and a second ship came in and disabled the pirate ship momentarily, and she is basically taking by force control of these pirates, I believe in an effort to control how bad they are, by making them bow to her and follow her rules about who gets killed and spaced and how they do their piracy. she is affecting a policy change on how piracy is done. And for every one of these independent pirate ships that she finds and controls, that will make the system just a little bit safer. And so I think that's what's happening there. I believe that is how she's going about her policing now, despite the fact that she's not officially working with or for Fred or Anderson Dawes. I think she still has this this patriotic desire for the OPA to be less bad, and so she's trying to basically do that at the ground roots by taking over individual pirate organizations or ships. And so so we did get a little bit of action. Drummer was kicking some butt against some pirates, which is an interesting development. And I mentioned it earlier during the reaction, but we have Bull, who was chief of security aboard the Behemoth in the books during season 3. And during season 3, he was replaced and was not present in the show. He was replaced by Drummer. In book 5, Drummer is head of security on Tycho, and Drummer in the show is not head of security of Tycho. She has blown off and done her own thing, and she was being replaced by Bull. So it's an interesting way of doing things. Since they rewrote Drummer's character so early on in the show, for her to be present during much earlier seasons, they, I guess, reorganized. And I very much enjoy the actor that they brought on to play Bull. He is just so prickly and so antagonistic. It's just very hard to like this guy. But chief of security, gotta be a hard ass, I guess. And I like that they brought him in that swapperoo that they did for Drummer. So that's kind of cool. All right, I think those are the primary big changes that I've seen between book and show for this episode. I'm gonna go ahead and leave it right there. Appreciate all of you folks following along. Again, apologies for the constant need to re-upload episodes that have already been launched. Something has changed between the early seasons of the show and season 4 and 5 of the show. I believe because of the ownership, there's different levels of copyright monitoring, I guess. And the things that I did for seasons 1 through 3 really have not been as effective for keeping the episodes live on YouTube. Even after multiple edits and multiple uploads before they're published, because that's how it works sometimes. You do your best and upload it and see what happens. And even after round after round of that, prior to publishing and having them be good for several days, often a day or two after they're published, they come in and there's another claim coming in. So it's very difficult to keep them visible. So I apologize for that, and I'm trying my best to make it so that these edits can stay live and not have to re-upload. But we do what we do, and we do what we have to do. Appreciate all the likes and the comments, all of your subscriptions. We really appreciate you guys following along, and on the Patreon, I love the comments and the discussions we get in there. That's a lot of fun. All right, guys, thanks a lot, and we'll see you in the next video.